Music Crew. Today we're going to talk about arrangement and finishing tracks. Whenever people start writing beats, their number one problem that I hear all the time is that I don't finish music. I don't finish the tracks that I start, and people just can't seem to get out of that loop land struggle that they just go through. They just can't get out of that 8-bar or 16-bar loop. And what I've told quite a few people in the past is something so simple, but a lot of people don't want to do it. And the reason is that it feels like it's cheating, or it doesn't feel right. But when you're beginning to write music, you need to understand what other people are doing before you can then take their ideas and expand on them and then take them in your own direction. So what I've got here is 2 tracks. One is a track that I made. It was called Heart, and I gave it away a couple of years ago. It got some attention from some labels, but it never really got signed. So I ended up giving it away. I still think it's a great track. I'll just give you a quick blast here. Okay, and the second track is a track by Bad Company. It's a track called Womb. I believe it was mostly attributed to D-Bridge, from what I remember reading on the record circle in the middle. It seemed to be mainly to Darren White, and you can kind of tell with these beats, but it's got that Bad Company kind of bass, which, believe it or not, that's what Heart's got as well. Okay, so they're the 2 tracks. I mean, they're not that similar. It's not like I've kind of copied it exactly, but what you can see is that it drops on bar 65. We're running at 174, so it's got a 65 bar intro just before the drop. It's got this sort of turnaround Bad Company bass. So there is similarities there. I mean, to be honest, what I did, I started this track and then I was struggling to get it out of the loop land, which I'm sure everyone's been in. So what I did, I found a track that I liked the arrangement, and literally just copied the arrangement and just went through, used that arrangement to help me finish the track, and just step through piece by piece. So we have a 64 bar intro. It has a turnaround before the drop, and then it rolls out, and basically it rolls out for 32 bars. Then the bass slightly changes, and you can hear here, if I just let's go from here. Just there's an edit. So I just used that edit. I mean, I think when you're first beginning, you really need to get inside of what the tracks that you like and the tracks that you want to sound like. You need it's almost just a good idea just to pull your track into Logic, into whatever DAW you're using, and use that as the basis for your arrangement. I mean, here basically you've got a breakdown where the bass just kicks in. used the same idea. Like I kept the lead bass going, I kept the sub going, dropped out all the beats, and then as you can see here, the bass drops out, and then something else happens. You can see it's identical. I don't think, as long as you're still doing something different, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then after a while, once you've done this 10 times, and then you keep listening to other tracks, you don't have to go through and exactly copy. You start to get a feel for how to progress a tune. I mean, to be honest, nowadays 64 bars is almost too long. I mean, a lot of people don't want a 64 bar intro nowadays. It's kind of like 49 is the max, it seems. So have a look at some new tracks, drag them into Logic, see what people are doing, see how they're building up their tracks, see how the beats come in, the bass comes in, where they come in, how they use different effects or moments in the track to break it down and build it back up. And just be blatant about it. Just blatantly copy the arrangement I'm talking about. I'm not talking about copying bass lines. I'm not talking about copying melodies. I mean, I have heard some sort of blatant rip-offs. I'm not talking about blatant rip-offs. I'm just talking about getting out of loop land, using other people's arrangements to tack onto your arrangement and then to create something new. And you'll just learn so much faster than just sticking to loop land and then getting fed up because you can't finish the track and then putting it to one side and starting another track. Really, it doesn't matter how good the loop is if you don't learn how to flesh out a tune into a five-minute song within drum and bass, and to make it. I mean, if you want lots of DJs playing it, then you need to make it in a certain way. It needs to kind of almost be DJ friendly, but I mean that's a whole another topic really. But the main key here is just to don't be afraid just to beg, borrow and steal. Use other people's arrangements to get out of loop land and finish some songs. Right, that's it. Take care. Peace.